started my business off, 25 grand in debt, no income. Ended up delivering pizzas to keep the business afloat. I was 31, I felt like a piece of shit. That was 14 years ago. But what I should have been doing is patting myself on the back. That is your most important asset that you have right now, is time, and it's the one that we give up so freely. Where's the GPS for your life? What do you want? You need to start believing in yourself.
Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula in chemistry. Your memories spark to motivate and make the industry shake. We built the bars in the place across the one.
Now what? That's what I'm saying to you. Now what? For you, for your life. Because your success or failure will be defined by your decisions, your good ones and bad ones. And it all starts with that belief. True belief in yourself.
It's one shot, now the future is yours.
Thank you! People, how you doing? Brad Burton. I just thought I'd start off with something a bit positive. So this whole thing, this Be Kind or Don't campaign, is something that I started last Sunday. And I never intended to start it last Sunday, if that makes sense. It's just that I kind of built up and actually just went, you know what, this is unfair. This is unfair. This is bullying, what's going on at the moment. This is not a noble cause that someone is trying to fight versus me. This is bullying. I'm going to get to it. And it was funny because I saw something on my timeline yesterday. Somebody that I've worked with previously, a guy called Craig Petty, is a magician. I've hired him maybe 7 times for doing professional gigs. Exceptional, by the way. And he was on his Instagram saying he's had enough. And I thought, wow, that's crazy. So this guy that I've known, I had no idea that was going on. He's gone, you know what, this has to stop. And what was fascinating from my perspective, those people just joined us about what this Be Kind or Don't campaign is that I took it upon myself to say, you know what, enough's enough. I've tried turning the other cheek for so long with individuals here, hoping that they'd go away. People say, hey, rise above it. And it's been going on for about 18 months. 18 months, a kind of perpetuated campaign. And it is a campaign driven by certain ringleaders. And let me be quite clear, I know exactly who they are. And I'm also going to talk about the motivations in a second, which I understand that. But I said enough's enough. And what I have done is over the last 18 months, from a legal perspective, we've been collating. We've had evidence gatherers that have collated kind of files on individuals, screen captures about things that they'd said, which is defamation, litigious, or whatever the word is. But not only that, it's also damning for them, damning for the business. So imagine that you're out there as a positivity or a happiness coach or whatever like that, and then you're saying stuff that isn't like that kind of thing, or that actually how that would look to you in your business if, you know, stuff that you think's been going on in private messages or stuff that you think's been going on in private groups is then ended up for the world to see what you've said. It's really horrible stuff. It's an approach that I don't want to take, but it's an approach that I will take if necessary. This week, I've kind of shared 2 or 3 things from 2 or 3 individuals that have said things online. I've given them every opportunity to remove those things. And that's the approach that we're taking with this. I have been working with professional investigators to kind of come up with this, the evidence, but also the kind of approach that we need to take to kind of deconstruct them, or deconstruct their kind of gang effectively. I'm going to bring on Craig Petty now. All right, he's backstage. Craig, like I say, magician, and there's direct correlations. Like, he's copying for exactly the same. Now, Craig is in a completely different circle to me, and yet he's getting the same sort of stuff. What's going on here? Let's try and find out, and we'll get a little bit of understanding. 3, 2, 1. He's in the room. Boom. Craig, hello, friend.
All right, Brad. How you doing, man?
Well, like I say, I watched your video yesterday, like a teaser, like 1-minute video on Instagram, and you was losing your head, quite frankly. And people say, Craig, come on. Why are you giving them the time of day? Why are you even doing that? You know, get on with your business. Surely, why don't you just ignore it and rise above it? Why don't you just ignore it and rise above it, Craig?
Because it gets to a point where it's just going on constantly 24/7. You know, it's going on constantly. And I had, you know, this is something that affected me about 7 years ago. It affected my mental health. 7 years ago, you know my story. I left the magic community. I walked away because I couldn't handle it anymore. I was literally getting death threats. I was literally having people.
Sorry. Just to be clear, death threats. You was getting death threats. Someone's saying they're going to kill you online.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Sarah was getting text messages saying
just to be clear, Craig, Sarah's your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was getting text messages having people say to her husband is a cancer and of magic. Cancer of magic was the thing, and that the world would be in a better place if I dropped dead. Like, this is stuff that happened about 7 years ago.
So that happened 7 years ago. If I was to sit down with the individual who said that, what do you reckon their motivation would be? What is their, you know, what are they trying to achieve? Like, let me ask you that. If I was to sit down with them, I was with pals and say, what would you try to achieve? What's the end game here? What do you believe they would say?
I have absolutely no idea what people's end game is when they try to do this, because they put, and we'll get into this, the stuff that's happening at the moment, they put so much time and energy and effort into basically trying to make somebody feel bad. I don't know what their end game is. What the hell is their end game? I don't know. What are they trying to achieve from this?
Well, so this is the point that I made, and it was quite a firm point, but I'll make it again. Caroline Flack killed herself. Caroline Flack is no longer walking this planet. Her mum and her parents don't get to see her because she killed herself. She killed herself. Why? Because somewhere along the way, the sheer weight of volume of hate towards Caroline Flack meant she could not handle it anymore. You know, don't care how physically tough you are, mentally, we've all got a limit. We've got a break point. Back in 2011, 12, I had a nervous breakdown. It took me 2.5 years to get back to normal. Last year, with everything that's been going on in the last 12 months, I had a mental burnout. I actually thought it might be a breakdown. It wasn't. It was a burnout. The sheer pressure of everything. I know my team had to step in there. I was bedridden for 2 weeks. So somewhere along the way, I'm not impervious to mental health issues, and I'm not that mental health issues. That's never been me, and it is actually, it's Mental Health Support Week or whatever it is this week. So there's a wonderful irony here. Now, in terms of these people, from my perspective, I have probably I think 8 or 9 or 10 people on these lists here, or the folders that I've got, which I promise you, if I was to put these on social media for everyone to see, their reputation would be finished instantly. Their business would be finished instantly, and I think that people would get a real distance between them. When you've got females and males ganging up, not only on me, but other people. Anyway, like I said, I'm not even going to get into it, but I've got hard evidence. Not like, oh yeah, it's somebody said it. Hard evidence that if this goes out there to the public domain, your reputation, your business is finished. And yet you've not given me the same latitude. You've just decided to. And I think what goes on here, Craig, and we'll get to yours in a second, I think that people believe they've got impunity because they are in Facebook groups or whatever. And what ends up happening is you end up with Facebook groups where, in my case, some people have left 4 Networking. You're a member of 4 Networking. You've been a member for how long now, Craig?
6 years, 7 years.
Okay. So people have left 4 Networking. I'll give you an example. One person left 4 Networking because they ripped somebody off. They didn't leave 4 Networking because they ripped somebody off. They left 4 Networking because I found out they'd ripped somebody off, and I said to them, hey, you need to sort this out. They didn't sort it out, so they left, and they go on social media in one of these private groups, and say, hey, God, I've left 4 Networking. I've left 4 Networking because Brad Burton's a bully. And people go, you're right, chick. Hello, lovely. You're right. Yeah, you're right. He's a bully. He's a misogynist. He's a racist. He's a homophobe. And that's what they say. And then you get this cycle of people going, yeah, gosh, you're right. And actually another person left 4 Networking. The reason they left 4 Networking is they left overnight. Everyone was seeing them, and then they left overnight. What happened? Well, Brad Burton's a racist. He's a bully. No, you got caught sleeping with several people's husbands. That's the reality of it. Didn't want to say it, but that's the reality of it. But you don't tell people that. So it's all this again. So people are not taking responsibility for whatever they've done. They try to project that. Now, let me tell you, what's going on right now with a lot of these individuals. They're unhappy with their own life. They're unhappy with their own decisions. They're unhappy with where they are. And I tell you, the last 12 months has been tough for everyone. Let me be quite clear, including me. And, it's been tough as a business owner. It's been tough. My business for networking went to zero overnight, face-to-face network, boom, lockdown, gone. And the reason I kind of know what's going on here with these individuals is back in 2003, I was one of them. I was one of these people on social media there was one particular organization that I created mayhem for me back in 2003, so 18 years ago. And I did whatever I could to cause them problems. And actually what was happening was I thought I was fighting a good fight. I thought I was fighting a good fight, but I think to myself, what's my end game? Now, so I've just admitted that that's what I did back in 2003. So that's why I recognize what's going on here. What I did in 2011 is I apologized to the individual. I actually made contact with them and I apologized for my behavior. And I said I was in a bad place, which I was. I was unemployed, long-term unemployed. I was frustrated with where I was in my life, 18 years ago, so 30 years old, 29, 30. And I was frustrated with my own life and what the decisions and where I was. And I took it out with somebody else. That's what's going on here. Now, they won't tell you that. They'll say, oh, no, Brad Burton, this, that, and other. Let me ask you this to those people. What is your end game? Do you want me to have a burnout for a couple of weeks? Do you want me to lose my business? That's not going to happen. I've been doing it for 16 and a half years. Do you want me to lose my marriage? That's not going to happen. That would have happened in 2011. And actually, if that's what you want, really, what does that make you? Or would you prefer me to kill myself? Would you prefer me to kill myself? I don't know, hang myself, jump off a bridge, take a load of tablets. What's your sort of desired outcome, really? What do you want? Craig, what do these people, give me an example of what you've received in the last week.
I don't know what they want. What's happening with me is it's completely and totally anonymous. Like, the people that are doing this haven't even got the balls to actually say who they really are. They're passionate. Oh, they're passionate. They want to let me know that I'm scum of the earth. They want to let me know that, and we'll talk about what they've said. They say an awful lot, but they haven't got strong enough convictions that they want to let me know who they are. But, and it's really well thought out and calculated. So every single day at the moment, I'm getting messages, not on social media, by email, but they're not actually sending me an email. They're filling in the contact form on one of my websites. Of course, I can block an email address, can't stop people from filling in a contact form. And every single day, there's a new fake email, something like Craig Petty's a twat at gmail.com. Craig has a tiny dick at gmail.com, whatever it may fucking be. And they're
bring it, sim it down, less swears, but yeah, okay.
I'm sorry. And they're putting, can't believe you said that. And they're
I'll keep it clean for this whole campaign, but go on.
They're putting all this stuff on the in contact forms. They're sending me stuff every single day, and it's horrible. I mean, it's homophobic. They're calling my sexual orientation into question. They're calling my ability as a magician into question. I mean, if I read it to you, good grief. So you've been in business now for how long? Like I say, about 15, 20 years, something like that.
Right. So you're not going anywhere again. So what their end game, it's interesting you say that these guys are sending anonymous accounts. What's beautiful about what I've got is, there's some anonymous accounts. I'm not even factoring them. What's beautiful about what I've got is they've got the names to it. And obviously they felt that it was because they had an echo chamber. And when you run a network with thousands of members across the UK, clearly there's going to be some crossover. Now, these people don't like me and I don't like them. The difference is I'm not chasing them around the internet and doing what I can to unseat or undermine them. This has to stop. And I believe that the way it's going to stop is by them realizing, like I've done one every single day. I've been releasing this information every single day and I will continue to do it till they stop. And actually they will only have themselves to blame when their name comes up and their words, and they will not, I promise you, you will not have any defense. against it. No defense whatsoever. I don't want to ruin your business with your words. I don't want to ruin your reputation with your words, but I will. And I said as part of this whole be kind or don't campaign, it ends now, or it begins now. Now, I know that you're fully behind this campaign, and what we're going to do is we're going to work together along with other people. We're talking to some celebrities right now as regards this thing. I don't want to be wasting my life and time on this, but I've wasted too much life and time by not dealing with this. It's not going away. And what we've got to do, and what you've got to do, is you've got to make it uncool for people to believe that you can do it. So you don't like me, fine. So you said you don't like me now. Right, okay, what do you want to do about that? You don't like me for whatever reason, and I promise you, there's another half of the story there. Every single one of these individuals, I've got the other half of the story. Somebody, bad debt, they didn't pay a debt, and actually I collared them as duty of care, as you know, heading up a networking organisation. Of course, I'm going to say I'm not going to allow people to be doing bad business and ripping people off, but they don't want to say that. And actually, if I was to show you a tribute, and this is what I'm trying to do, is kind of say to those individuals, I've got your thingy here, so they know.
But I was just going to say, the thing is, you're a big boy, Brad. You've handled a lot in your life. I mean, you've handled a hell of a lot. I'm a big boy. I've handled a hell of a lot. It's water off a duck's back to us 99% of the time. But it's not just happening to us. There's other people out there all over the place that are being targeted, and they don't know what to turn. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. Like, there's you're standing up for this, which is amazing, and I'm speaking out on this, which is amazing. But how many people are sitting there getting this level of abuse daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is, and they're sitting there and they're just like going over it again and again in their head? It's affecting people.
You know, from a mental faculties perspective, I mean, I'm surrounded by the world that I'm moving in, the personal development world, is kind of understanding this, but it's insidious. But equally, like I say, what's fascinating about this is those individuals, I don't believe they know how to get off the, like, I know, but let me tell you, as a result of since last Sunday, we've had, by back channel, that's probably the best way to describe it, 2 or 3 individuals that have kind of acquiesced and gone, oh yeah, sorry about that. I was goaded into it by one of the head honchos here. And these people are out there with a veneer of decency. That's what they're doing, and that veneer will fall away. If anyone wants to look at my Be Kind or Don't campaign, you'll see that I was working recently with 2 heavyweight police officers, and there is fascinating stories of how they break organised crime gangs. So, you know, this isn't just, and I would say an interesting one as well. You're obviously a member of my club, and there was obviously that ding dong that went on recently. That net's closing as well. And like I say, you can't hide. You might think that you've got it all under control, and also you might also believe that these people that are close to you are as close as you believe they are, and maybe actually they've been alongside me all the way through this, and that's why they've been collating it. And you believe that you've been, you know, saying these things with impunity.
I fully believe that some of the people that have sent me these messages, they know me personally because they're obsessed with me. If they weren't obsessed with me, they wouldn't be taking hours out of their day to create fake email addresses, write really long emails, send them over to me. I believe they know me, and I reckon I've met them at magic conventions or places.
Let me share a story. So I was on and the reason I'm pausing to think is I don't want to reveal my source. So I was on a major business website some time ago. An article went on there, and within, I don't know, minutes, there was Brad Burton's this and this comments. I managed to get hold of the IP address of the comments. And what I did was I then stripped them of any HTML, put them into to text, raw text, and then I sent them to the web developers at the time. And I said, "Can you give me the members' IDs of these people, please?" And and it was fascinating, Craig, because one of the IPs that came back, and so obviously the web developers didn't know what I was asking it for and so forth, was actually someone that I'd helped massively. like massively, like, and I considered a friend. And I rang this individual up, and I said to them, "Hello, person. Hi, how are you? Yeah, chat. And I said to them, and I read them their comment. And they said, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry about that, Brad. I was in a bad place. This was like a day ago. So I got the comment a day, And actually I said, I want to sit down with you. So I went to see them and I sat down with them. And I said, we are never going to be friends like we once was. But I'm not going to run you through. I'm not going to share who you are to other individuals. I suggest you go about your business and we go our separate ways. We don't fall out, but that's it. 2 weeks later, they're at it again. Like, it's undiagnosed mental illness. This is crackers. Like, genuinely, I think mental illness. And like I say, when I think about me being in a bad place back 18 years ago, whatever, that's why I see the signs. So as part of this whole campaign, we are now taking a stand. And the way that we're taking a stand is by revealing to the world. Somebody said to me the other day, I had a couple of people actually say to me, oh, you need to rise above it. Or somebody actually said, you've got thin skin. They've not seen the previous 18 months that I'd cut for. They've not seen what I've got written down here. They've not seen that. So consequently, nobody sees it. And this has been the problem, is that people just deal with it themselves until, of course, you don't deal with it yourself. And I go and neck myself and I go and kill myself. And then my family. Because that's the other thing to understand throughout all this. You can give me as much lumber as you want, but I've got a wife. How do you feel? I think that she feels about it. And I've said this before. Stacey Calder came up with something the other day. She went, imagine if I was a female and I was crying on video. How the response would be different. But because I'm Brad Burton, he can take it. He deserves it. He's a misogynist. Okay. He's a racist. Okay. He's a homophobe. Okay. He's a bully. Okay. Why am I a bully? And these bullies will have a reason as to why I'm a bully. Then maybe if you had the backstory of any kind of bullying, i.e. somebody leaving the network, or maybe somebody underperformed who once worked for me. They underperformed. But they don't tell people that. They don't tell people that there was complaints racking up week in, week out about these individuals, and it was causing more problems than anything they solved. They don't say that. I'd had a conversation with them and said, hey, X person, you need to behave yourself because we're getting complaints about you. And then another one comes in, and then another one. What am I supposed to do? Not act.
Yeah.
But they don't say that. They tell you one half of a story, and then you get this echo chamber in a private where all these people come together and believe that they've got themselves, and we need to stop this hamster wheel for them. And the only way we're going to stop this hamster wheel is by their own words. Or if you're associated with these individuals, talk to them. But nobody wants to have that conversation. Nobody wants to say, because then you get bullied. You get the ire of saying, hey, isn't it a bit naughty? Boom, get out of the group. These people are not worth knowing. The game is up, the net is closing.
And the people that think that they don't know, the people that think that they are being anonymous and that they think that they're safe because they're hiding their identity. There's ways and means of finding anything.
And this is what people need to understand. We'll go to that in a second. Your question from Dan there. I was at a chapel of rest yesterday. My niece passed away 2 weeks ago. So I've been dealing with all that. And somebody went on social media, one of these haters, and said, well, that was convenient. My 36-year-old niece died of a heart attack 2 weeks ago. And somebody said, that was convenient. Really? And this is what you've got to put up with. So I was at a chapel of rest yesterday, seeing my niece, who's no longer with us. And I've got to deal with not only that, and looking after being the head of the family, but also this. And you think that's acceptable? Ask yourself this question. You should be really embarrassed of yourself and you're embarrassed of your comments. What end game do you want? Answer that question to yourself. What end game do you want? Do you want the destruction of my business? How is that normal? Do you want the destruction of me? How is that rational? What have I done that warrants this? I've done nothing. I've done nothing that warrants this. You don't like me? Fine. I swear too much? Fine. You, between you and me, jealous of my successes? Fine. But really? But what's worse about this is these, like I say, 10 people, 10 major class A people and a load of hangers on, they're starting to fall away now because they realise that actually don't want to be part of this. Everyone loves a pub fight. You ever been to a pub and you see a pub fight? Everyone loves it. Until, of course, you get dragged into that pub fight, at which point it's not so much fun when you get in a bottle over your head or a chair over your head. That's what's coming your way, metaphorically speaking, if you do not distance yourself from this situation. I'm giving you more than enough warning. I'm being so fair throughout this. Dan Ivory, a former forensic investigator for the police. Craig, question is, how have you dealt with haters?
Well, you know, there's an old expression, isn't it? Beaten by being better. I'm just, I firmly believe that a lot of the stuff that I'm getting at the moment is because people hate me because I'm getting on with things. I've continued to try and run my business to the best way that I can through COVID. You know, I'm continuing to, you know, run my YouTube channel and so on and so forth. All I'm doing by trying to beat them is I'm just going out and I'm just producing content. I'm going out and I'm booking in gigs. I'm trying to be as successful as I can. That's the way that I'm trying to beat them. Because if I suddenly give up and I go, right, I'm closing my business, I'm shutting my YouTube channel down, I'm going to become a hermit, I'll go and get a job or something like that. That point, right then, that's when they've won. So how do I stop them from winning? By every single day they switch on the TV, every single day they switch on YouTube and they see me racking up thousands of views. And then I'm going on Instagram going, I've just gone here, I've just gone this gig, I've just gone that gig. And they're sitting in their parents' basement crying into their cereal because they are absolutely, completely and totally failed. And the only way that they can feel better is by making other people feel bad. And I beat them by continuing every single day to piss them off.
No swears. Darren Wolf, online harassment and stalking is illegal in Wales and thinking. You're absolutely right, Darren. And I'm going through this now with the process of the legal process. However, it's a slow process. Yeah. So in the interim, I could say on social media, not going to say too much, but you wouldn't want Darren Wolf minding your children. I'm going to leave it there. Right? It's dog whistle bullying. So by doing that and just leaving the comment out there, then people that don't like you, Darren, because you sacked somebody 10 years ago, comes on there and says, yeah, Darren Wolf is, yeah, you're right, I've heard rumours, bosh, and that it begins. And that's how they do it. And it's just like this echo chamber. It's got to stop. And the way that it stops people is by you not just sending me screen captures, which is what's happening, going, hey, Brad, have you seen this? Be brave enough to say, that's naughty, that's out of order, embarrass these people. Now, what I will say is I know that there have been, this last week, a lot of them have been deleting the posts. Because I've made a deal and I made a pact with them, which is if you delete your posts and set my name and my business organization out of your mouth, I will not post these things. And I'm a man of my word. That's the difference between me and you, is I'm a man of my word. I'm giving you a way to stop this. You're not giving me a way to stop this. You're not giving me a way to stop this. You're not. And that's disgusting, because if there's no way for me to stop it, that's bullying. Think about the principle. If there's no way, you think about somebody getting abused at home. Every day they get a whack. My mum was beat up by my father. Every day you get a whack. Don't know if you're going to get a whack or you're going to get a smile. No idea. But every day you get a whack. And what happened, and I'll tell you my story, what happened was for 6 months, my mum saved £1 a week. And after 6 months, she came home and the house was smashed up one day and she left. She had me, my sister, and my brother. I made a pram and she left. At which point, my dad was then saying, hey, I'll never do it again. At which point it's gone. That's the point I've reached. I've reached boiling point. Because if I don't reach boiling point, this doesn't end. So the only way it ends is by embarrassing those coaches who are out there eulogizing either happy, positivity, or that kind of stuff. Well, your game is up. Push me, and all I do is I show the world what you've said. Not like once, twice, but I'm stuff that not even about me, stuff which is not great for you, that I promise you, I've got one right in front of me right now. If I was to read it out in front of you right now, there would be 3 individuals, 2 blokes, and 1 girl that would be finished. That's and so you know, that's the difference. I'm giving you a way out. You've not given me a way out. You've not given Craig a way out. But I'm giving you a way out. Whether you choose to take it or not, down to stupidity, because I think somewhere along the way you believe that. Let me just let you listen to something, just so you can see where we're at with this, and you might get an understanding about the severity of this. That actually we're not taking this lying down, right?
Just a reply for you a minute, not necessarily to share with your team, because it might be about 2 minutes, I imagine. Just some things to bear in mind. What's unfolding at the minute, mate?
1 second, just in case the name comes up. I didn't want to do it. No. So 1 second, because I think there's a name in here. I just want to make certain. Craig, do me a favor, just talk. I'm going to put myself on mute. I just want to press play on this so you can see where I've been going with this. I just don't want the name inadvertently being dropped on here. It would be disastrous and actually everything. But I'm just going to listen to this and you'll understand it when I play it. If you could just put myself on mute just to make certain that the name is not mentioned. You
got it. No problem. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this live. Really appreciate it. This is all Brad's thing, but it is something that's affecting absolutely everybody, and it's horrible. Like, it's really, really crippling. The email that I had come through the other day, you know, it didn't just affect me; it affected my wife. Like, she saw it as well, and it's just uncalled for. It really isn't. I can't understand what goes through people's heads. I can't understand what goes through people's minds. What, it's like Brad said at the very, very beginning. What are people's end games? Why would people want to do this? Why would people? You know, I've never been perfect in my life, but have I done something so bad that I deserve to get this right now? Is that what this is? I can't understand why somebody would want to go to the trouble of doing this. And to be clear, like, you know, I mean, I've had people that have set up fake YouTube profiles just so they can post comments on my YouTube videos, and they've got like a profile picture of me, and they've called themselves boring, sad, bald magician, and they're posting hate comments on my videos. Like, that takes time and effort. I mean, it's not like they're just doing a comment just for fun.
So let me just show you the level that I'm dealing with this from our perspective, that this isn't just me thinking. Let me just listen. I'm going to listen to, just so you can get an understanding about how serious we are taking this.
A reply for you a minute, not necessarily to share with your team, because it might be about 2 minutes, I imagine. Just some things to bear in mind. What's unfolding at the minute, mate, from what I can gather from the messages that you're sending me, this is just how most investigations unfold. Most of the public don't realise this, but there's a term in the police called a CHIS, a covert intelligence source. CHIS is, they probably make up 95% of all high-profile murders, counter-terrorism investigations, large cases of fraud are all wrapped up because of covert information that you've received. Some terms that relate to that would be what's called a strong suspect and a positive suspect. And then that's an after effect. A strong suspect would be you have covert information given to you to suggest that...
I'm not going to go into it, but let me tell you something, people. This isn't a bluff. This isn't, Brad's bluffing. I have got some high-level investigation teams on you. You have been pinged hard on every level. On every level. This is not, Brad's just screen capturing, that's all. We've got proper investigators on you. People that could well be checking out everything. And we could have it almost like AC-12 with a suspects list and everything, because maybe these people are police officers or former police officers that have hired to set up a list, strong suspects and everything. The net's closing. Or it doesn't have to close, and we can leave it open forevermore. And what I mean by that is that you go about your business and you take my name, my business out of your mouth, and this ends. Or I will throw the full weight of everything that we're doing at you. It'll ruin your business. It'll ruin your reputation. It may ruin your life, and you may get a criminal record. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I can, and that's the difference. The Brad that you have now isn't the Brad that you had 20 years ago, because we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would have just red lightsabered you. But I don't want to be that guy anymore. And I'm doing my utmost to save you from yourself. You know, I spoke to Craig before. Oh, that's a funny one. Chris Hill. I spoke to Craig before. I wish I could play those messages now, but I can't. I should have. I know that a name is dropped in there in one of these. And that's why I was my heart went, shit. I didn't swallow myself. I didn't want to, just in case a name got dropped, then that would have been disastrous for them. But you see, so this isn't, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's get an actor in to do a message and then we'll play it. No, we're on this. We've got a proper suspect list, a lot, folders on everyone. You want to mess with me? You think I'm a mug? You think I'm a thick northerner? Yeah. You are going to fall on your own sword. That's the reality of it. You know, oh, that's a good one. Somebody said to me the other day, if these guys are concentrating on girls, that's the other thing about it. That's really sad bit about this. This isn't just the people who think they're alpha males. This is, you know, and actually, let's see how tough you are. See how tough you are now, how your team sticks together when all of a sudden they start getting picked off with legals and they start getting the evidence put on social media. Like, not like, oh, it's just a firm evidence and a timeline, all documented the way that you would for the Crown Court. Trust me, the only thing that is not happening right now is that you're getting a knock and getting arrested. That's the only thing that's not happening. Everything else is all set up, ready to go. Told you, this is, there you go. Oh, come on. See those clubbers? No, Chris. This is nothing to do with clubbers. This is not to do with clubbers. This is out on my Brad Burton timeline. It's linked to me. It's nothing to do with the club. It's nothing to do with the club. Clubbers, in 4 years of running my nowwhatclub.rocks, there's been 2 problems, one of which we resolved years ago, and the other one's going to get resolved in the next 36 hours. So this is not about this. This is about the message getting back to them so they realise that the game is up. Because actually, Chris, you know, I've turned the other cheek for 18 months. And Craig is at the point as well, independently, where he's done. So by doing this, by putting this full resource that we are now of an investigation team onto problems like mine, onto problems like Craig, they know what to look for. And I'll tell you what, are you going to be that confident? Are you going to be that confident that you know, that are you going to be that confident anymore, knowing that we've got a proper investigation team? We spent thousands on this, thousands of pounds that I'd rather spend on other stuff. But if that's what we've got to do for this to stop, so be kind or don't. But if you're not kind, you've only got yourself to blame when your business and reputation and all those people that thought you was one person, but you end up being something completely different. That everything that you built, all your friendships have been built on glass. Your reputation has been built on glass. Like a glass jaw. Craig, anything to add?
No, I just think that, you know, it's, no, I just think it needs to stop. It needs to stop. I mean, it really does. Not just for you, not just for me, but for everyone out there. Ever since I posted on Facebook a week ago with some of the emails that I've been getting, I've had so many messages from people saying, oh, I've had the same thing, but I've kept it to myself. I've had messages. I've had this. This is happening around the world in so many different industries. Internet bullying is a bigger issue than people are even possibly aware of. And most people will just sit there and not say anything about it. And it will be allowed to fester and fester and fester until something bad happens.
And that's Craig, and that's the point. Let's be quite clear here. I had a nervous breakdown back in 2011, 2012. I documented it in Life Business Just Got Easier. I had a burnout last year. So clearly somewhere along the way, I've got a limit from a mental health perspective. We all have. And so have you.
And the thing is, this would not be acceptable anytime, but especially after 13 months of dealing with a global pandemic where businesses have shut down left, right, and center. People have gone out of business. People are struggling to hold on, and they've tried absolutely everything that they can to continue to run the business. In every industry has been affected massively. Every industry has been affected. Now more than ever is not the right time to start making people feel bad. Now is not the right time to start affecting people's mental health. Now is the time to come together and be positive and to try and help rebuild after a year from hell. That's what we should be doing.
I don't know if to show this because you might be able to see it. No, I don't want to. There's a complete org chart there that is based, and hopefully nobody will be able to zoom in that. There's a complete org chart based of the individuals there, breaking it down. I'd love to be able to show you. I'm keeping it back on purpose. There's an org chart of all the individuals, all the key suspects, everything. And actually all the evidence relates to certain folders. Like, this is digital. We could well redact certain individuals that have chosen to delete stuff, and we may do that. We may well distribute this entire folder online with redacted people who chose to realize the error of their ways and that the game was up. So that's an option that is open to us. It's all been in the public domain. There's nothing that we'll be doing illegally, nothing whatsoever, and it'll be put online without comment from us. So you can make your own opinions. 1 second. Yeah, I've just had a message relating to this. Somebody else has now decided that they don't want any part of that. And that's what's happening. And when you work with specialist gangbusters, and actually they understand how you break down organised crime, same principles, because this is a crime that is being committed, and it's a crime which isn't fair. It's not fair on me, it's not fair on Craig, it's not fair on our wives, team. It's just not fair. And I think I'd probably say to you in closing, and we'll call it a day in a second. If this was you on the receiving end of stuff that you've not done, and stuff that was effectively a falsified lie, like I said, say for instance, I said, "Hello, Fred, you wouldn't want him to be babysitting your kids, let's put it that way." And I put it on social media about you and your business. What would you do? Would you A, contact me, B, go via a solicitor, which is going to take you weeks to be able to do anything sensible. Now, I'm going through one at the moment, a legal case at the moment, which the individual has got until Friday, tomorrow, to produce their evidence. So they had the first letter that they laughed at. You know what? It was a weekend. I thought, right, I'm going to go easy on this. Then they laughed at the second letter. Well, the third letter is you've got a court date. See how funny that is? And then you've got to then come to court and tell everyone what you've said. But I don't believe you'll actually turn up. I believe what you might do is go on social media and say, "I'm being bullied here. I'm being bullied by Brad Burton." That's what I think is going to happen. Well, I'm taking that play away from you right now because you had every opportunity in the last 4 weeks or 3 weeks to climb down. You've had every opportunity to climb down, but you've not, because you thought it was funny. And all your mates were going, "Go on, chick, fighting the good fight, chick. Hello, lovely." Yeah. See what's going to happen. And then when I get a court order that goes in my way that says, "Hey, you're right, this is all fantasy," what does that make you, all those people that supported that? You listen, what, based on what? A woman pretending to cry that she's being bullied. What about me not pretending to cry, me crying? Would you then be a thing? Or maybe you've got your own axe to grind. It's disgusting. Oh, listen, I couldn't agree more. Chris, I couldn't agree more. Do you think I want to be doing this? I don't want to be doing this. You know, I've got a day off today. I'd rather be playing computer games. I won't be doing this. But it doesn't stop. 18 months in my case. Craig's business collapsed. He run Non-Stop Kids. Just tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I run 2 entertainment companies, and literally, obviously, the same as most people in with COVID. In March 2020, when everything got locked down, no work at all, absolutely no work. But not only that, we had to refund thousands, tens and thousands of pounds to people who couldn't have their events and didn't know when it was going to go on. The entertainment industry has been absolutely decimated, and I've worked my arse off, as a lot of other people have. But I've worked my arse off over the last 13 months just to try and keep things working and keep things afloat.
You changed your business now. You've moved it on to online.
Yeah, I mean, we're still running Non-Stop Kids and Slightly Unusual, but we've also got this online platform. We've been working on a lot of stuff online with the YouTube channel, which has been going great, just because I don't want to be caught with my pants around my ankles again, you know?
And so let's be clear. If you wouldn't have moved as fast and as decisively as you did, you wouldn't be in business. Is that a fair assessment?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Same goes for us. My 14 years of phone networking would have collapsed. Pippa and the team did beautifully in transitioning and taking it online. And actually, to be dealing with the most difficult 12 months, you know, £100,000 a month plus to nothing, and then having all this stuff whilst you're doing it's just a sign. So I don't want to, Chris points that out, you know, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be doing this. Of course I don't. But I don't see how I can not do it. We've asked them to stop. They've not stopped. Although, to be honest, it's now 3 or 4 people have stopped. They kind of don't want any part of this. They don't want no smoke, as we call it in Manchester, because actually they don't want that. It was all fun and games, lolling until it starts becoming a criminal thing. Because say we've got evidence that I would be quite happy going to the CPS. It has been built up from that perspective, from a criminal prosecution service perspective. The evidence has been for what somebody quite rightly pointed out, which is this whole thing as regards 10 years or whatever it is. You're not going to want a criminal record for this. You're not going to want a criminal record. But not only that, you're also going to have not only a criminal record, but you're also going to have your reputation and your business finished. And you have the luxury to stop all this. Wow. That's wild. That actually this is in a position that you can stop all this. And you know what you're trying to do right now. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to save face. You're trying to save face somehow and pretend that you're not been bullying and that you've been fighting some noble cause. But what we'll do is you're trying to save face. I get that. The time for saving face is over. The time for saving face is over, because I'm getting to that point when I will drop this on social media, complete with a website, be kind or don't, whatever it is. And then you've got this with your name and a link back to your business. I've spent thousands of pounds on this. I'm prepared to spend thousands of pounds on the SEO, so that when what's your SEO? Your SEO is pretty good, Nick, Craig?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's what we do.
What could people type in right now in order to find you?
Kids entertainment.
Wow. What, and you'd come up first, 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, first, a couple of times on the first page, yeah.
There you go. So we kind of know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And actually, you have an opportunity to stop all this or not. And what happens here and in is down to you. It's not down to me. It's down to you. What I've done is I've got everything that I need to go. And it will ruin your life, business. You will get a criminal record, even if you get bound over or suspended sentence. You will. I've asked, do we have enough that these people will get charged? Yes. Okay. Really? So not only do you get to lose there, you get to lose for what? Because you want to teach me a lesson. You're going to teach yourself a lesson. Don't mess with me. Craig, anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. I think the day of judgment is coming. And just because you think that you're hiding behind a fake profile doesn't mean that we can't find you. And we've talked about lots of different ways of finding those people and lots of different ways of bringing them out into the open. There's lots of different things we can do.
And for those people that know me, know that in the next 36 hours, something is going to happen significant as a turning point in this whole thing. Next 36 hours, particularly clubbers will know what I'm talking about there. So I'm going to go and leave it there. In answer to James Hutchinson's conversation, do I think the parties are watching?
100%.
Well, even if they are already not, you're associated with quite a few of them, James. So maybe you could tell them. So I'm going to leave it there. Take it easy, people. Have an amazing day. Be kind or don't in a bit. Oh, in fact, I'm going to bin him off. Let me bin him off. See you later, okay? Woo. So, people, you know, it's it's sad. It really is sad. But that's life. Anyway, you can leave on a more positive note. Me, Brad Burton, life is getting back to normal. If you're interested in coming along to one of my networks, 1 networking, 4 networking, or 3 networking as my guest, all you got to do is email hello@bradburton.biz and we'll get you an invite there. And if you are interested in getting mentored by me in the Now What Club, check out nowwhatclub.rocks. Better decisions faster. You know, I live by that. Better decisions faster. That's what you got to do, people. You got to make some better decisions and fast. I'm going to leave you with this. Have an amazing day. Thank you.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go!
I started my business off 25 grand in debt, no income. Ended up delivering pizzas to keep the business afloat. I was 31, I felt like a piece of shit. That was 14 years ago. But what I should have been doing is patting myself on the back. That is your most important asset that you have right now is time, and it's the one that we give up so freely. Where's the GPS to your life? What do you want? You need to start believing in yourself.
Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula in chemistry. The memories spark to motivate and make the industry shake. We built the bars in the place. I thought the one.
Now what? That's what I'm saying to you. Now what? For you, for your life. Because your success or failure will be defined by your decisions, your good ones and bad ones.
And it all starts with that belief. True belief in yourself.
It's one shot, now the future is yours.